Welcome to Ignite Interviews. I'm Cyndi Donahue, and I'm very pleased to be talking today with Melissa Huggins from Spokane Arts. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I should say thank you for having me, because here we are in this beautiful gallery, and so you are hosting me here.
No, I'm so happy to. I'm excited for our talk.
So why don't we talk about this gallery? Where are we?
Yeah, so we are at the Chase Gallery inside City Hall. Spokane Arts curates between 4 and 8 exhibits here per year of local and regional artists. So the exhibit right now features 5 different artists in all different mediums and all different types. So we just love being able to showcase all of these local artists, give them an opportunity to sell their work throughout the year, share artwork with community members who are coming through City Hall who may not necessarily be going out to see art shows themselves. So we feel very grateful to curate this space.
So you're showing them art when they don't even expect to see art.
Exactly, which is sometimes the best way to show people art.
And what are some of the other locations that Spokane Arts is showing art, other than, inside, I guess?
Yeah, so this is kind of our main gallery space. And then we have so many partnerships and collaborations with so many different entities. So, we do a lot of public art. And that is often the most visible way that community members kind of interact with us, other than, seeing work in this gallery.
What are some of the most recognizable pieces of outdoor art that someone would be like, oh, I love that one?
Oh, yeah. I have such a soft spot for the Garbage Goat in Riverfront Park. Sister Paula Turnbull Nunn was the artist on that. It was commissioned as part of Expo, as part of the World's Fair, as part of the environmental theme. And it's just delightful. It's such a fun thing to show people when they come to town. And then I just love our public mural collection. There are so many beautiful public murals throughout town. There was a New York Times article recently about a writer coming to Spokane for baseball, but he commented on how Spokane is brimming with public art. So it's very visible to people who visit our city and are considering moving to our city.
That's fantastic. And so what is the why of Spokane Arts? Why does it exist?
Yeah, so great question. We just believe, as an organization, we believe that arts and culture are integrated into who we are as human beings, who we are as a culture. And art has this really unique way of being able to bring people together, to bring them into conversation, to address difficult topics, to allow people to have an experience, an emotional, intellectual experience. And that's just so core to who we are as humans, that thinking and feeling and experiencing things both individually and together. So.
Yeah, so you were just starting the conversation, right, in our community.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how long have you been the executive director of Spokane Arts?
I've been director for 5 years now. And it's been a wild ride. In the past 5 years, we have been able to accomplish so much. We have installed over 16 permanent murals in the city of Spokane, along with temporary murals and many others. In the past year, we started, you may have seen, we've begun doing basketball court murals in partnership with Hoop Fest and Multicare and other partners. So by the end of this year, there will be 5 of those basketball court murals installed, and they're spread across the city in different neighborhoods. And that, sort of goes back to what we were just talking about, which is that's another incredible way to bring people together. The neighborhood gets to have a voice in selecting that art. They get to watch the artist install it. They are in conversation with the artist as the paint is going on the court. So it's just, these are beautiful, wonderful community assets.
And then they get to see the art as they get together and play some hoops, right?
Exactly, yeah. And we love the aspect of it, like we were saying, art in unexpected places, right? So people may not, if they're going to their neighborhood park, they may not expect to see a beautiful mural, especially on a sport court surface. But again, just bringing all of these different elements, providing that kind of surprise and delight and feeling of civic pride for people, that it's their neighborhood and they have ownership, and that they have a voice in what their neighborhood looks and feels like.
So you're being creative about the creativity in our community, basically.
That's a great way to say it, yeah.
And as a leader, I mean, you've been there for 5 years. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you had to overcome?
Yeah. I mean, as a sector, we are so underfunded. We are, particularly compared to other cities of our size. Arts and culture in Spokane, the arts community is incredible. There's so much talent. There is, so much creativity. And in a lot of ways, artists and creatives kind of drive what is appealing about Spokane, right? Like arts and culture are what makes Spokane a great place to live and work and play. People want to be able to go to concerts. They want to be able to see Shakespeare in the park and go to live music and do all of these things. And for a really long time, arts and culture have just been like such a DIY, hanging on with the tiniest, the tiniest budgets. There are a lot of volunteers making a lot of arts and culture in Spokane happen. So I think that's the biggest obstacle, really, in the short term and the long term, is really, increasing the amount of funding to make our sector on par with the impact and importance that we're making in the community.
Yeah, so I mean, culture and art is making us cool and
Right.
contributing to our economic development, so you think that should be more equally funded.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then what about in terms of like, what has been some unexpected kind of gifts that have been thrown your way, or something that benefited Spokane Arts that you didn't expect?
Yeah. We are lucky to have so many partnerships with all different entities in the community. And so to me, that's the sort of biggest gift, is getting to work with so many different entities. I mean, we work with parks, we work with libraries, we work with the sports plexes, we work with Hooptown. We have so many of these community partners. We work with
Terrain, I assume.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so many community partners across the board, and those collaborations are so fulfilling and mutually beneficial, and often generate kind of like the best and most exciting things that we can collectively present to the community.
In terms of both the art and the opportunities that they present, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just one example is an annual event that we do, that Spokane Arts runs, called Music Video Jams. And yeah,
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, we just did the 3rd year of it, and Mayor Woodward served as one of our judges as part of the event. And the idea behind the event is we bring together emerging musicians and emerging filmmakers, and we pair them together to film music videos in Spokane. So they're, edited, produced by local filmmakers. The musicians walk away with their own music video to help their professional career. And it's such a fun event. We have a screening, this big celebratory screening, which this year was at the Big Dipper. So, again, just like bringing people together for these really unique partnerships. That event is a partnership between CMTV and KYRS Radio and Spokane Film Project and Spokane Arts. So, really bringing all kinds of different stakeholders to the table to say, how can we bring different arts disciplines together and create something really fun and exciting?
So basically, as a leader, you're forming relationships and collaborations to facilitate showing beautiful art. And it sounds, I mean, art in all forms, right? Not just paintings,
exactly.
but music and...
yeah, and that is so core to what we do. As I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of people, because public art is so visible, you drive past a mural, you walk past a mural, you bike past the utility box wraps across the city that we do. And so sometimes, because that public art is so visible, I think that sometimes people may think that that is the main thing that Spokane Arts does, or that's the only thing that we do. But we have so many programs. We have literary programs. We administer the Poet Laureate program. Oh. We have a high school poetry program called Poetry Out Loud, where high school students learn to memorize and recite contemporary and classic poetry, and it helps them with their public speaking skills. They learn all about the poets and the history of the poem. We also do neighborhood lit crawls where we pick a neighborhood and pick 3 or 4 venues within that neighborhood and have a lineup of readers who read a very brief essay or story or poem. And it's sort of like a pub crawl. So we start at one place and 4 people read at that place and everybody has drinks and food and a great time, and then we all walk together to the next place in the neighborhood. And we've done those all over the city. And look forward to doing those again next summer.
I literally had no idea that most of what you're saying happens.
Yeah.
And so I need to pay more attention. So if somebody in the community wanted to be more involved and know about the music video filmmaking and everything else, would they just go to your website? Or is there a way, can we follow you on social media so we get some sort of notification and know what's happening?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, social media is often the best. We post all of our events there. So it's just at Spokane Arts on all the platforms. And then we send out a newsletter a couple of times a month. So on our website, it's really easy to sign up for the newsletter. That's honestly the best way for people to find out about upcoming events, artist opportunities. We also have a grants program where we support the rest of the sector by giving small grants to support arts and culture projects. So yeah, newsletter and social media, probably the easiest ways to find out those things.
I'm assuming that more community involvement would then also hopefully help you with more funding.
Yes.
Along the way, some more people advocating for more art and more culture in our community.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the recent awards, because I did see that.
Yeah.
So I saw the Spokane Arts Awards.
Yeah, so the Arts Awards are a really fun annual event that we do. Basically, October is National Arts and Humanities Month. So every year we host the Arts Awards as a kickoff for Arts and Humanities Month. And the idea is we host an open call for community members to nominate any individual, organization, group who has done remarkable work in arts and culture over the past year. So we collect all of those community nominations. There are 4 award categories, and then a panel of arts commissioners and community arts professionals reviews those and hands out some awards. And at the annual event, it's always a celebration of what's happened in the past year in arts and culture. So there are always performances of all different, artistic types. So we have live music, we have comedy, we have dance, we have cultural presentations, we have, a huge variety. Again, just to celebrate the depth and breadth of everything that exists in Spokane and give creatives a chance to sort of have that sense of pride in what they have accomplished and what the community has accomplished over the past year.
And from the awards this year, was there kind of a big highlight or one that, that was the big thing this year?
Yeah, well, we have a Lifetime Achievement Award that we give out, and it's called the Karen Mobley Impact Award.
I know Karen, so that's why I'm smiling.
Everyone does, yeah. And this year's honoree for that is Don Hamilton of Hamilton Studios. And Don has just supported arts and culture for decades. He's invited young filmmakers into his studio and to use his space and his equipment. Particularly during the pandemic, he helped so many nonprofits of all kinds be able to make that switch from canceling an in-person event and switching it into a hybrid or online event. And so he's just done so much to support arts and culture. So we were really pleased to be able to honor him in that way.
So the awards happen every October. So now I'll be aware for next year.
Yeah.
And are there some new projects or some big things we should know about that are coming up from Spokane Arts?
Oh my goodness, so many. Yes. So we have a number of public art projects that are in the pipeline. So I was talking about partnerships earlier. We have something like 12 public art projects that are in the pipeline right now. So we have, there are indoor and outdoor sculptures that will be installed as part of the new Spokane Public Library branches. One of them at Liberty Park has already been installed. There will be an outdoor sculpture at Shadle Park that is installed this fall, and then an indoor sculpture at the new Central Library. And then there are 2 large sculptures to come in Riverfront Park. So those will be installed in 2022. And then the podium facility that's operated by the Public Facilities District. So we have a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, incredible indoor hanging art pieces in the inside of that you can see from outside, especially at night.
Oh,
So
wow.
the view, yes, we just illuminated them for the first time, and the view is incredible, seeing those sculptures lit at night. And then there will be also an outdoor interactive sculpture outside of that facility as well.
Sports related, I assume, but.
Yeah. The concept is there are lots of metal pennants, sort of like metal flags, banners, and those will be engraved with the significant things that happen inside the podium. So as people start to break records inside the podium, they'll be engraved onto those panels.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, you just have so much going on.
Yes.
And I think there's just so much opportunity for our community to be more involved in supporting our creatives, as you call them, and artists of different type. So what if someone who didn't know Spokane, what would you say, like, why is Spokane like the place to be?
Oh my gosh, yeah. There are so many characteristics of Spokane that I think that we all love and agree on. I mean, how close we are to nature, the ability to get outdoors. We're just such a friendly town, and I think that there's a lack of pretension that I really appreciate, and that's true in the art scene as well. Everyone is very collaborative. Everyone is very eager to lend a hand and help someone out. There's not a lot of the kind of hierarchical nonsense that I think happens in bigger cities where the scene is more competitive. There are just so many qualities about Spokane that we love. But for people who are considering moving here, businesses that are considering living in Spokane, I mean, we have short commutes. We have this wonderful cultural scene that's sort of poised on the edge of incredible growth. There's just a lot to love about our city.
Yeah, I hear that. So when I ask that question, I hear that a lot. And I always say it's like Spokane nice, but it's really that people here are generous of spirit, and truly care about each other and care about our community. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't believe how much care that you have given and continue to give. I just didn't know how much was going on in arts and culture until this conversation. So
there is a lot happening behind the scenes. And I think, part of that is being under-resourced as a sector. Of course, I think sometimes we are not as good as other sectors at sort of shouting our successes to the world. So I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to chat with you and be able to sort of, illuminate some of those, at least a few of the areas that are exciting in arts and culture these days.
Well, we'll shout it out for you.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. So
thank you.
Thanks for having me.